everyone should support Tupperware. You know, I had a lady the other day, she said, you know, I don't like Tupperware because you won't let us put it in the microwave. I go, well, it's because we're giving you a lifetime warranty on it.
And
Like
that's
that's it.
everything.
Like those other companies that say you can, they're not giving you a lifetime warranty. They're not even giving you a 1-year warranty.
No, because
we've done the right thing for this long.
Inherently, the products they're selling are throwaway.
Precisely.
And they know that.
And they know that.
That's
and they
how
know
they
it's
make
going in
their
the
money.
landfill.
And I don't make those judgments.
We're not the kings and queens.
But I know you go buy a 5-pack of those throwaway things, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Listen, if you're giving the stuff away, and you know you're in a pinch, that's fine. But you want something that they stand behind. A ton of these have already been spoken for since we introduced it. It's the new Super CrispIt Lettuce Keeper. I have a salad probably every single night.
Awesome.
I love salad.
Awesome.
What I don't like is soggy, wet lettuce. Like, if I go to a restaurant and I have a salad and the lettuce is wet, I won't even eat it. I'll be like, no, sorry, you didn't do your job. So what Tupperware did, and this is a steal, at $19.95, we took $10 off, and we're doing it for free shipping just for today. All right, you're getting it just for today.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, today only.
Watch out, Pat.
If you love your lettuce to be crisp or any of your veggies, this is the key. And Deb will tell you why this works. You know, traditionally we take our lettuce, we spin it, whatever, we put it in a bowl. You come there later and there's always water at the bottom.
There's always water.
You never get it all out.
And especially with iceberg lettuce. Iceberg lettuce is one of my favorites for a wedge salad. I like to use a leaf. I love a good wedge salad. But the problem with iceberg lettuce is it's like 50 to 60% water. And for it to stay crunchy, you need it to not get soggy. So what you're going to do is it's going to come with this amazing little spike. So the spike has little feet at the bottom and it's got the little holes. You'll pop it in the iceberg lettuce. You're gonna pop it in here, and I have a personal testimony. I actually did a blog about it. I took my iceberg lettuce and my Boston lettuce from our last shows.
I love Boston lettuce.
They were 16 days old, and I had them at my walk-in at my church. And yesterday, or the day before, I looked and I went, oh my gosh, that can't be good.
2 weeks.
16 days. And they looked exactly like the day I put them in there. And I was actually looking up on ChatGPT. I go, how in the world could it last 16 days? And it said, not just the water part, they said that one of the trademarks of the CrispIt is that it controls the humidity and it keeps the air out. And that's why iceberg lettuce and Boston lettuce both lasted 16 days, where traditionally, if you took your crisper drawer and you put your iceberg lettuce in any container, including the wrapper that it came in, if you get 3 days out of it, you're a magician.
Let me tell you something. I just bought a relatively fancy refrigerator about a year ago. I lived with the old one forever, because refrigerators last forever.
Right, they do.
So anyway, I was like, I'm gonna get a new one. The handle actually kept coming off the old one. So I bought a refrigerator that doesn't have handles. You actually there's little cutaways where you can open it, but it has a crisper drawer. And I will tell you this, I have to go in there with a paper towel at least once every 2 weeks and wipe up. And it's not just a little bit.
Right.
It's like a river of water.
Right.
That is what's leaching out of a lot of your fruits and vegetables.
And that's why they're getting slimy.
If you don't get them up off the ground.
And watch, guys, like we didn't talk about this, but if you watch, this is cabbage, which again, it's a large, big head, the design of the bowl.
99% water.
Look at all of that water that just came out of there. So again, if you didn't have the spike, you would be sitting in that. You know what that would mean? This would be turning red. This would be turning muck. This would be smelling terrible. So while produce and groceries are at the highest point that I can ever remember seeing in my life, to be able to get this with free shipping and handling, this is the original piece. I told you I did a post on this when my bonus mom gave me this. And Myrna, if you're watching, I love you with all my heart. When she first moved to United States from Cuba in 1960, this was one of her first purchases. But this piece right here, I had over 32,000 comments. My post went viral.
That's the way
they love it. Everyone's like, I love that, I love that. However, if you'll notice,
very similar.
It's similar, but we couldn't make this one anymore. The mold broke. So we said, how can we improve on it? So see how it's a wider dome at the bottom, so it'll hold a bigger head of lettuce. The spike is larger, and we dome the lid higher, and it's clear so you can see what's inside of it. So again, it's new, it's improved. I will personally guarantee you that whatever you put in here will last so much longer than you even can anticipate, especially after what just happened.
Oh, I like that too.
Cauliflower heads at Sam's Club are $3.28. They're $3.99 at a regular grocery store and a third of the price. So to get a big head of cauliflower like that, you don't want your refrigerator to smell like cauliflower.
No.
That would be terrible. So again, it's gonna lock in the smell. It's gonna make it last very long. On the spike, you just pull off the little
You know what I
florets.
love? I love the domed lid.
Right.
All right, because we know that the things you put in there, might be bigger than the container, so you get that nice domed lid. Makes it very easy to be able to snap it shut as well. It also doubles as just great storage. So if you want to put your fruit in there, you can do that as well. I love the size of it.
I do.
It's about the capacity is. It's probably what, about 6 cups?
I would say it's more than that. I
Look
don't
right
remember
here.
off
I'm trying
the
to
top
see
of
if it
my
says
head.
it somewhere. It doesn't say it anywhere, but
would
it
say-
looks like about probably 6 cups, don't you think?
No, I would say
More?
closer. I would say 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
But in
You
here,
probably know better than
the
me.
only reason I say that is there's at least 2 cantaloupes
Oh,
in
yeah,
here
yeah.
and some cherries.
Hey, by the
so-
way, 8,200 gone.
Yay.
I have 2,000 left. So 80% of this is sold out. I got people buying 2 and 3 of these right
Good
now.
for you.
Well, because a lot of people will have they'll have a cabbage, or they'll have different types of lettuce that they want to put in there. A lot of people just use it for regular storage. It's funny because I love iceberg lettuce.
I love it.
I don't buy it very often because it doesn't last.
No, not at all.
It never does. And then how many of you out there actually cut the bag and take a chunk of iceberg lettuce and then rewrap the lettuce in like some cellophane and put it back in? It's the worst thing you could do, because what you're basically doing is you're enclosing that environment. It can't breathe. It's going to sweat, right? Or it's going to get very humid inside there, and then that water is going to drip. And again, you don't want to deal with that. This allows you to be able to clean, wash. I know, I love that crunch. And then just pop it right on that little spike. And remember, the spike keeps it up.
Keeps
Off
it
the ground.
elevated.
It's like,
the dome.
I remember I come from New England, where everybody had a wet basement.
Yes.
All right, and nobody, it was terrible. My dad actually had like mats down there that were like 2 inches high, and a sump pump, because we always got water in the basement. Well, that's basically what this is: water in the basement of your lettuce, and you got to get rid of that, and that's the way to do it.
And
this,
look, more
this
water.
keeps it up. Yeah, it'll
again,
just keep doing that.
Boston lettuce, if you put it in the container that it's in your refrigerator, you're not going to get it away from the moisture. You're not going to be able to protect it from something banging against it. And again, my personal testimonial, it was not intentional. I just took product from here, dropped it off in my church walk-in. And then when I saw them the other day, I went, oh my gosh, thinking that's gonna be gross. And I took pictures, and it's up on my Facebook page. I was blown away that they didn't deteriorate at all.
Well, that's why people love it, is because
Yep.
you are extending that
The life
time
of your-
that
of
you
your
can have
produce.
your lettuce in there. And we all know lettuce starts dying the day it's picked. So you really want to keep it as secure in a place as long as you possibly can in a cold part of your refrigerator. But you also worry, if you just put your lettuce in a cheaper container, or you just keep it in the bag. I sometimes will open my lettuce and it's partially frozen.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Because my
easily.
refrigerator I
Yep.
keep everything very cold, and if you put it in the back, this will help protect it from that as well, because it's
Precisely.
got its own little house it lives in.
What I really recommend, folks, is groceries are not getting any less expensive. Buy your Tupperware.
You know what the guy at Publix calls me?
What?
$100 guy.
$100 guy.
He goes,
You can't
every
get
time,
out of there.
every time you come in here, you spend. I'm like, I can't get out of there under $100.
And I'll bet it's only like 2 bags. Like $100 isn't a lot of
Yeah,
groceries
I did
anymore.
90. It was like $97 a day. I had 3 bags of groceries.
Yep.
And a lot of the stuff I'm buying are staples. I'm buying produce.
And you're buying them over and over
Yeah,
and over
yeah,
again.
yeah.
Like
Yep.
what you're doing with this is you're prolonging the life of what you have. You're not going to your Boston lettuce the day you want to make that
12
yummy.
and a half cups.
12 and a
You were
half
right.
cups.
I was way off.
I get the only reason I know that is just from all the years of playing
Yeah.
with the different bowls and whatnot. I should memorize them more, because I know that's an important deal for you folks sitting at home. But I want you to understand that this was $4.99. When I buy that head of lettuce, if I want a piece of lettuce to go on my burger, if I want a piece of lettuce to go on my sandwich, I don't want it to be red and mushy down at the bottom. And what you're going to get is crisp, beautiful lettuce. And again, maybe it'll last longer than 16 days. I've only done 16 days so far, but try it, test it yourself. I assure you that your products that you have at home do not accommodate a big head of iceberg lettuce or a big head of cabbage. They do not have a lifetime warranty on them.
Right.
This is the lowest price we've ever offered this at. We will not be offering it again. We have a few more shows this week, but I don't think we'll have the free shipping after today.
The free shipping goes away tonight. at midnight.
Wow.
This is just for today.
They
if you
must
want to
just
grab
love
it.
you.
And by the way, yes, they do. I hope so.
They should.
And by the
You're so
way,
good.
when you buy lettuce, like iceberg lettuce, you buy caviar, you ever look at the root end, it's always brown because that's where it starts to rot.
Right,
From the bottom. That's the part that got hacked off. So that's and it's the same with lettuce. So you want to make sure that you get this in there and you get it, you know, on its little spike and that it's up off the ground. 8,800 gone, and you can see people are buying 2 and 3 of these at once. My producer Pat just said, he goes, you got people buying 3 or 4 of these.
That's outstanding.
Well, because you know what? They also love this.
really
They love the storage shape.
Precisely.
Because you don't have to use it for lettuce.
No, like I showed with a fruit salad. Like one of the complaints a lot of people say is they'd rather have more clear. We are always about preparation, presentation. We like the colored bowls, but we have a lot of comments that go, we want the clear so we can see what's in there. So don't just get it for lettuce. This is good for anything. But again, you're getting that iconic seal. You're getting part of America's heritage. You're getting something that's not going to go in the landfill. What you need to be thinking about is, do I give this to my daughter or do I give this to my son? Who is going to get this product? Because that's what it is. It's all, when you go on some of those auction sites, you're gonna find Tupperware on there that's 70 years old. It looks like it's brand spanking new. Do you realize that? Like this right here is the same age as me. And I say it aged better than me. And it doesn't even have makeup on.
I think you both look amazing. You both look amazing.
But think about that. That's
you know, it's funny because I look at this and I know my mom had it. I know she did. And you know what's really sad is I think a lot of people, what happens is, you know, when they move out of their house or they're starting to tone down, they don't realize that, you know, they didn't realize how important it was to keep this stuff.
Precisely.
And they figured, oh, there's got to be a better way now. There isn't.
There isn't.
This is the way. This is why it's been around for what, 70, 80 years?
But my grandmother, you got to remember, my grandmother lived through the Depression. So when she was buying Tupperware because she understood that she needed her groceries to last as long as possible. When we come up with a deli container and a little bit later, we had that deli container in 1960s, and she would keep cookies in there for like months.
Yeah.
Because to make homemade cookies, you don't want those cookies to go in a cookie jar and get stale and crumbly. Our cookies would last over a month. No mold, they'd never get stale.
Right. And
like that humidity factor, as well as the tight seal, is a lot bigger deal than I actually realized.
I love that, because I bought the multi-set with all the different pieces, right? All different sizes, the heritage set. I bought it. I love when I open my refrigerator because it reminds me of my mom and dad. I'm like, that brings me back. It brings me back to my childhood. And you know, as you get to be kind of around our age, that's when you really start thinking about that kind of stuff. You know, I remember when I was in my 30s or 40s, life was good. You don't think about nothing. Then you get to be in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, and you're like, it does matter. Tradition matters.
Tradition matters. Family matters.
That's what this is all about. And that's why I love the fact that they give you a lifetime warranty on their products, because they're like, listen, we live and breathe through you guys, through the customers, just like we do here at HSN, right? We need you to be happy. If you're unhappy, you're not going to come back. So that's why this company's been around as long as it has, because it has values, and they're like, listen, if something goes wrong, we're gonna fix it, or we're gonna give you your money back.
Exactly, and that's what I love about being out here for this brand. I don't feel like I'm asking you to spend money on anything that I'm not proud of, but we responded to you. You said, I want another one of these, and we said, you know what? That mold is broken, but what we did for HSN customer is we listened and we made one which I think is better. It might not be as emotional as this one, but this one is a better product, and it's a better price, and with free shipping.
There's 940 left, but you have to understand, Pat, we got a lot of people calling in right now. 400 people online right now. That's the most that we've had all day. So that's a lot of people that are all buying this. We'll keep you posted on the quantities, but we do have to move on because we have more to show you. We've got our 10-piece set coming up, which I love, the date store thing where you can actually write on the container.